In this particular video, I am going to discuss about the higher order observable. So friends, higher order observable is one of the very important topic into the RxJS. So let's try to understand. So let's consider one scenario. There is a outer observable and then another one is an inner observable. So let's create a observable first. So how we can create? So there are the many way to create. We can use the operator, creation operator like of operator, from operator, like that, yeah, or from event operator, or maybe we can create a new method with the help of the new, okay, with the help of the constructor like new observable. In this way manually we can create a observable. So the easiest way is to the of operator, because we need to demonstrate and try to understand. We are just trying to understand what is the higher order observable. So this, with the help of the of operator, we can create a observable, and this will start emitting the data, whatever data I am providing as a argument. So let's write 1 2 3 and 4. So these 1 2 3 4, these are getting emitted one by one. So observable is got created. Now I can use the pipe. Why pipe? See, some operator is a pipeable operator. It means we can use it under the pipe. And some operator is not a pipeable operator. It means, for example, of operator, from operator, all the creation operator is not a pipeable operator. We cannot add into the pipe. But yes, map operator we can use. Why we can use? I am using the map because I want to transform the data, whatever data it's coming. See, here it is coming 1 2 3 4, but I want to transform it. And see here, the uh, type of this data is a number 1 2 3 4, but I want to convert it into the observable. Okay, so here is the pipe, and within the pipe I have used the map. And why map? Because I want to transform the observable with the new value. And in map I have to pass the callback. So just I am writing here the arrow function, that's it. This is the callback. Now we will with the help of this val parameter, we will able to access each of this emitted value from the outer observable, and we will create again another observable, which is the inner observable. So I am going to return, see, whatever I am going to return, it will get transformed. So I am just transforming the data, but instead of returning the number, I am returning a observable. So for returning the observable, I will write again of operator, because it's a very easiest way to create a observable. And then let's, in this scenario, I can create maybe I can emit object. So object having the property. So let's write prop, something like that. And then the value will be the whatever data is getting emitted from the outer observable. So let's write here the val. So in this scenario, what will happen? There is an outer observable and inner observable. From each of these outer observable, whatever data will get emitted, based on that inner observable will be created. Okay, it means inner observable having some dependency. In this scenario, friends, what will happen? Let's like observable is get created. Okay, in the real life scenario, what will happen? See, in the real life scenario, this of operator, the outer observable, can be anything. It can be a API call, it can be for example, I can create an observable with the help of the form event. So if user will type, or maybe can do any kinds of the event, so any event will get occurred. So based on that, we can create an observable stream. So suppose there is an input field, so based on the key up, key down, press, key press, on change, uh, it means change. So on in all of this event we can generate a stream, we can generate an observable stream. So whenever that action, uh, that event will be occurred, in that scenario uh, the observable will get like because it's provide observable and observable value will get emitted. Okay, on that emission you can do a API call. So the first observable becomes a outer observable, and after getting a API call you will get a data in the form of the observable, because into the Angular, if you have noticed, you find that HTTP client object. So in case of HTTP client object, what happened that whenever you will do the API call, then you will get a data, but you have to subscribe it because you are getting a data in the form of observable. You have to subscribe to get a data from the observable. Okay, so since HTTP client is also returning the observable, so this scenario can be replicated. So there will be outer observable and inner observable, and maybe you can do a two API call. One API call you will get the observable, and then based on that you can do another API call. Okay, now in this scenario what will happen? See, I am going to write here the subscribe. Why I am going to subscribe? Because this is the observable, I have to subscribe to get a data. So before that I can add it into the variable. So write a variable, and variable name can be anything. I am writing here the higher order observable, something like that. Now remember this observable having actually this having the observable, in that there is a outer observable and inner observable. Based on the outer observable data, the inner observable is getting generated. Now higher order, and then I am going to write here the subscribe, because without subscribing it is observable, without subscribing we cannot get a notification from the observable. So I have to subscribe it. Now I am adding a callback, and this callback is all the immediate data we will get it. But let's see what I am getting in the val. So if I will do the console log val, before that I am going to clear this console, and I am going to write here the val. See, instead of getting a data, instead of getting this object, we are getting a observable. So here is the like challenging and little like you will get surprised that you are already subscribed but still you are getting observable. Why? Because you have subscribed, but after the subscribe whatever data you got, it's again observable. So you have to subscribe once again, because this is the higher order observable. Why? Because outer observable is emitting the data, and based on that inner observable is emitting the data, but it's emitting observable itself. So you have to subscribe 2 times. Okay, so it means what? It means that I have to write here the again because val is observable, so again I have to do a subscribe, then only we can get a notification from the observable stream. And in this case let's write from inner, something like that. So let's console log and let's see what the output we are getting. So now you can notice that we are getting a data which is the prop 1, prop 2, prop 3, prop 4. But here we have to do a 2 times subscribe. So this is actually observable, because the observable are returning another observable inside that. So you have to subscribe one more time. So this is actually a higher order observable. In real life scenario, what will happen? Instead of returning this, like here I am using, I used here the of operator, but in real life scenario it can be a HTTP client. Okay, HTTP API call with the help of the HTTP client in JavaScript in Angular. It means what? It means whenever you will do the API call, you will get data in a observable. So actually this will be observable. After API call we will get that. Now like this one, as you can notice there is observable and you have to do a API call, but since we don't have any API, okay, so that's why I have shown you with the help of the of operator. Now so when I consider the another real life scenario, then it can be like suppose let's consider one API. Okay, one API is for the product. You will get the product detail with the help of that API, and then on that API you will get a data, and that data is a supplier ID. So you are getting just a supplier ID, but you need a whole detail of the supplier. Then what you will do? You have to call another API call, and you need to provide that ID. Okay, supplier ID. Then based on that, whatever API you will call, based on that you will get a data like supplier detail. So in this case what will happen? The product you have like created observable because you have called the API, and HTTP client will return actually observable, and then based on that whatever ID you will get, based on that you will call another API call for the supplier, and then you will get a data of the supplier. Okay, so product will be here the outer observable and supplier will be here the inner observable. So it means that in real life scenario you can inject a HTTP client, and you have to create an instance of it. So let's say you have created the instance name is the HTTP, and then you are calling a get method, and based on the get method you will need to provide the endpoint here. So whatever endpoint you will provide, you will get a data, but remember you are getting a data as a observable. So here it can be a pipe, and then within the pipe it can be a map, and in map there will be a callback, and then based on this value, let's say from the value you will do val dot id supplier id, so sup id I am writing. So this will be basically a supplier ID, and based on that you have to call another API call, but remember this will also return a observable, so this scenario will get replicated. So again I can do these things within that, but in this scenario it you have to return it, then data will get transformed in the map, something like that. In this scenario you have to use this let's say I am writing here the plus and then this one. It means I am concatenating this like a value supplier ID, and based on that I will get a data. Okay, so it means the observable inside the observable, so you have to subscribe it 2 times. So actually this is the higher order observable. In the next video I will talk about the many different type of the operator, like a different type of higher order operator, which is the like a switch map, concat map, something like that. Now the problem is that suppose the outer observable will emit the data, but inner observable are taking some time to process it. So then the problem will be occurred. So it will, what they will do continuously, outer observable emitting the data, and inner observable are taking lots of time. So I will talk about these things in the next video. Thank you.